Hello everyone, welcome to Crochet Basics. This video is just going to cover what kind of supplies you may need in order to start a crochet project. So of course you need the crochet hooks. Now I have these aluminum ones which are great. They're pretty inexpensive and great for basic beginners. They also have the size right here on the flat part, so you never have to worry about what size hook. If you forget what size hook you're using, it's right there. Now I like this case. There's a crochet hook case so that it keeps all my hooks, well, most of my hooks, organized and away and not hanging loose in my basket so that I'm not searching for them everywhere. Now I also have these larger set of crochet hooks for other types of projects that require bigger hooks for bulky type yarn. Now of course you always need a pair of scissors. Now in here, these are going to be your yarn needles. Now I like the ones that are bent. They seem to be easier for me to use when I'm weaving loose yarn into my projects. Now it's up to you whether you want to get those types of needles. The straight ones are fine as well. This is a stitch counter, really easy to use so that you don't have to worry about forgetting what stitch number you're on. I like to use it for counting rows instead of stitches because I most likely will forget what row I'm on. Stitches, I have other ways to count stitches. Now this is your stitch gauge. So this allows you to see whether you have the right size hook for your project, and these are always handy. I would highly recommend getting one of these. Of course you have your tape measure, standard. Now these are my favorite. These are stitch markers. I love using these to mark big projects, especially when you have you have to stitch 150 for an Afghan or any kind of big project. These are great because they're open, and so you don't have to worry about closing them. They just weave right into your yarn. So I would highly recommend getting a pack of these. These have been a lifesaver, especially when counting stitches. So those are the basic supplies that I have for crochet. Now also, when you're looking at yarn, when you're grabbing yarn, of course you're going to need yarn. This is going to be your weight. And these are always your stitch gauge, and that is for knitting. And then they always give a recommendation on what size hook for the type of yarn, and it will always give you how to take care of it, machine washable, tumble dry, that kind of thing. It also gives you what it's made out of. So this one was 100% acrylic, and then the weight, and also yards and meters. So I always go by the length instead of the weight of the yarn. It's much easier for me to tell whether I need to pick up more than one ball of yarn or not. So that is the basic supplies that you will need to start off your crochet project. Thanks very much.